Hi everyone, I'm Jay and this is Room Room. Welcome back to the channel, and as you see by the thumbnail, Honda Deauville, Holy Grail I called it, because it's one owner and it's so unmolested, but it was hiding a few secrets and you'll see them a little bit later on in the video. So please like, share, subscribe, you know what to do, and enjoy the video. Well, this is the video on what I've described in the thumbnail as the Holy Grail, and I don't know if it is or not, but it is one owner from new. It is 4,820 something miles. This bike is a survivor, and what I do with it now is hopefully just to trigger people, rebuild it, but it's probably more of a recommission. And now the big reveal. I bet you're also excited. Yeah, so here she is, the Honda Deauville NT700, 2008 in black, and not recorded on any register. Came with 2 keys, came with the service booklet, and for my US friends or anywhere else in the world, this is what we used to have to put on our vehicles to prove that we'd paid our road tax. And you can see that one was from 2013. These were phased out and went to electronic versions where we didn't have to do this anymore, which was a lot better, but you could tell at a glance if a vehicle was taxed or not. So going around it, the front discs were beautiful, the tyres absolutely original, and the front of the bike looked absolutely stunning. Every nut and bolt were really good. There was slight surface corrosion on the forks, but there was nothing there that was anything to worry about. So I was really pleased with the front condition of the bike. And then as we came around, it just kept getting better. It hadn't been messed with. It's obviously been in the garage or just stored up for the last 10 years or so. There were a couple of scratches just on this side, on the mirror, as you just saw, and coming around you can just see that it's just absolutely perfect on that side. The paint was really good, the tank was really good, the bar ends, everything that I was looking at. There's a slight mark on the tank, but that one I'm pretty sure would come out with a bit of T-cut. And just coming around, this was the good side. Wherever they stored the bike, unfortunately at some point did manage to get these kind of marks on the box at the back. I've looked at these and they're too deep for T-cut. They're beneath the lacquer level. So I'm going to respray that box. It shouldn't be too difficult. And then as we come around, the rest of the bike looked okay, apart from a couple of small blemishes, which was one just here on the side fairing, and there was another one which you'll see in just a second, which is just there, which was just a bit of lacquer chipped off. But apart from that, everything looked absolutely perfect. Thought it's always best to check the oil, so took this off and had a look at the oil, and it was crystal clear. It was almost as if the oil had been changed 10 minutes ago, and that oil was at least definitely been in there for 10 years. So that will be on our list to change the oil and filters, as well as look at all the other parts of this bike before we get her back on the road.
So it's drying off. It's overcast but pretty warm. It'll only take a little while for it to dry, and already you can see the difference it's made. The engine has come up absolutely stunning. The front wheel's coming up very, very nice. There's a tiny bit of surface rust on the gear lever selector, and that will be addressed. The back wheel does need a little bit more work with a bit of T-cut. The marks, that will come out of a bit of T-cut. As with that, will be when we drain the petrol, get new stuff in it, and as I've checked the oil, get the battery ordered, which I'll do today. I was going to try and charge the old battery, but it's been in there 10 years. I don't, even if it works, it's not going to be reliable, and it's only going to last a short amount of time. It's toast, so I'm not even going to bother with that. So I'll get one ordered as well. Then we can start it up, see if it runs. If it does, we'll get the brakes recommissioned, make sure everything's working, and get it down for an MOT, and then on to its next owner. So if even at this stage, if you're interested in this bike, then drop me a message, and we'll see what we can do. But yep, let's get the fuel out. So you won't know this with the video because it's all running concurrently, but I've had probably a week or two away from this Honda Deauville that came in, and then I did do a little bit of work on it, and I found a big problem. Yes, it's been sitting forever, this bike, and as a result of that, I'm just siphoning out some fuel. This is the fuel that's in the bike. Yeah, that looks like a sample of someone who's never going to pass the drugs test. So I did a little bit more digging, and I found digging, and I found this. This isn't going to be easy to see, I don't think. No, let me get my torch. Now, I'm sure some of you already guessed. Oh, that's not nice. And it's all around the tank. Yep, it's gone rusty. So, not overly surprised. I knew sooner or later I'd get one that did have this particular issue. So what do? Well, first thing is the tank's got to come off. Then the fuel pump has got to come off. And I've also read somewhere from someone in some post somewhere, that was vague, that if you take the fuel pump out, you can actually get your hand in there. If that's the case, it may be enough for me to clean it out. If not, there are a variety of different solutions. Now, I went to see my mate Tom down at the Z Shed in Ashford. If you need any work done, go down there because he's brilliant. And he's got a mate who ties them to a mixer, obviously well-padded mixer, with a load of 5mm grit in it, and spins it. I've also heard stories of people using Harpic or vinegar or baking soda or some kind of acid. I don't know which ones. Let's start by just removing the tank very carefully and getting the fuel out of the tank. So because of the nature of this bike and its history, I am going to be even more careful than I normally am with the nuts and bolts, ensuring that every one of them comes off and goes back in exactly the same position. It's not a difficult job getting the tank off, but I did do a little bit more investigating after filming yesterday, and managed to get my fingers in to where the rust was, and it was starting to come away, kind of like a crystallized surface rust. It was promising. So let's get the tank off and see what the score is. Right, so anything, there's a process to taking apart these particular types of bike, which is to do it in order. Take your time, don't force bolts, and remember everything goes, and label everything, put it in bags, do whatever your process is to do, just to make sure that you've got it all in the right place when it comes to putting it all back together. With me, I've got a empty plastic box over there with compartments, which I'm going to use for my nuts and bolts for different parts of the bike. And these side panels just clip in. I'm kind of hoping it's just a light restoration in there. The only concern I'm going to have is how I seal it in there after I've cleaned it out. Whether it actually needs doing like that, we'll have to see. Angle. Let's have a look down the bottom. Ah, yes. That brings back a memory. That part just pushes in down the bottom. Yeah. That pushes in. So that's mostly push fit. Well, it is all push fit. So we'll put you somewhere safe. And I might be going too far, but I did want to have a look around the bike anyway, just to make sure there weren't any other defects when I was going around it. So I know that there's a fair amount there. There's a fair amount there. And then we'll see what we're able to move. Right, so that's that one off. Just look how absolutely stunning all of that is. And when I come across to here in the crash bar, and you can see why I'm being so careful. It's just, oh, stunning. So I did cheat slightly. I went and looked at one of my old videos because I was gonna I would have ended up stripping the engine down and changing the big ends the way I was going. I did remember something about these, but I didn't want to until I looked and saw for sure how they come out. I didn't want to force them, but that is how they come out. Right, so even the original clip for the cables is still on here, and the actual bracket, because it's never been off. You find a lot on the NT700s that these tend to snap, where people are just rushing and pulling them in and out very quickly. What this does is gives me some great access, and the bolt on the side fairing that I took out, the 10mm bolt, was necessary to come out because it connects the fairing to the tank. So all I need to do now is repeat on the other side. I don't know what we got here. Twig. And yes, see from there. Come on. I think that screw's still got a thread on it. That's it. Right, that's the other side. And this side kept the Velcro. Very nice. And that should be it, apart from the electrics and maybe a couple of pipes. So if we come up very carefully, look underneath. Oh my god, that's gorgeous. That looks so clean. Right, okay, right. Oh, I love the way they put this bit of rubber in there just to hold it still. You don't get a movement. Right. Oh, you're awkward. Come on. Off you come. Just gotta be careful with that. So now the tank should come off. And just look at the underside of that. That is absolutely fantastic. Loving that. Already I can smell the fuel. It smells like it's seen better days. And so I'm just going to very carefully put that on the floor. Then I'm going to bring you in and just show you underneath. So as you can see, all looking rather good. I'm going to get to the top of the forks. There's a very light bit of corrosion on them. Oh no, it's not. It's just dust and shite. So that's fine. That can come off. And that's it. So let me get the fuel out of the tank. A fuel pump off, and then we'll have a lot better view of what's going on. So the tank is now drained of all of the fuel, and it's time to get the fuel pump off. And as you can see, it does look like it's quite a decent access. So the fuel pump is out, and already you can see copious amounts of rust on there. And there's just a little bit of fuel still in the tank, so I'm gonna get it off. The sides where the fuel was obviously sitting above that particular tank level look okay, and I can see where the rust starts going further in. So I need to get the rest of the fuel out, and then I can start digging around a little bit more and seeing how far I have to go with this. This is, I just took the rubber gasket off the top, and yeah, not brilliant, but on the actual metal parts, just running your finger over the rusty, or what I thought was the rusty parts, actually comes up really well. So this is going to need a very nice clean. I mean, the bits just fell off. And then we'll see, and the shock itself is going to have to come out, be cleaned, but nothing more than I expected at this moment. I'm yet to see if I can actually fit me a hand in that hole. So that's where we're going to leave that one for now. It's going to be quite interesting. So many unknowns still on this bike. Is the engine okay? Why was the reason it was parked up originally? Was it to do with the tank and the fuel and everything else? I doubt it, because that's stuff that happens many years after leaving a tank full of petrol around. But would I be able to get my hand in that hole and clean out all of that rubbish, or have to use another method? we'll have to wait and see. So till next time, guys, please ride safe, and I'll see you on the next one.